I'm on my way to get a massage and I'm so excited. I actually got this as a gift for Mother's Day last year in May and we're in January. Can you believe it? I haven't cashed this gift until now. It was about time and I'm so excited. Seriously, it's like a full body massage and I have been just dying to get it, and now I'm here. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm gonna walk down to the spa. This hotel is beautiful. It's very big, it's not like a quiet, small boutique kind of hotel. It's quite big. But the spa is one of the best ones in the island. Look, right behind me, it's the pool, like the outdoor pool of the spa. You can only access that pool if you're actually going to the spa. It's amazing. Okay, let's go. I just had my massage and now I'm enjoying a cappuccino in the sun because it's actually not super hot, meaning we have like 20 degrees that actually feel like maybe 16, but in the sun it's actually pretty warm. If you're in the shadow though, it feels cold. And I'm so relaxed now. It was really good. Not amazing, but it was good. I feel like I am the kind of person that likes like stronger pressure in massages. Some people prefer it to be, I don't know, they prefer them to be a little bit more shallow. What's your type? Let me know. Now I'm enjoying a cappuccino and the sun. So lovely here. It's really quiet with the music in the background. Nice. Naya looks like the girl in the Wonka movie, the Chocolate Factory movie. So funny. Instead of walking, she's like, you know. Well, it's another day. I'm gonna do my makeup. Last time I showed you something here was yesterday. Then we came home and we just chilled at home. And now I am getting ready. I was cleaning the house a little bit this morning, and now I like to do my makeup a little bit just to feel pulled together when I'm at home. I'm like cozy in this like neat kind of tracksuit from Uniqlo, which keeps me warm but cozy at home. And I'm just gonna do my makeup while I chat to you before I do my Sunday reset. Well, I already started it with the cleaning this morning. Every Sunday, I like to do what I call it Sunday reset, and it has become so important to me. You have no idea. I basically take the day to not the whole day. It depends on what plans I have. Sometimes I have something social happening, or like plans with family or friends, and I'm not gonna cancel on those for this, but I will definitely make time to at least meal prep. This is the most important thing for me. I have noticed when I did my end of the year reflection, I always do this every single year. I noticed that where I was leaking energy was in the everyday question, what do we have for dinner? And sometimes this question, I was making it when it was already 8 p.m. and I had to jump on another meeting because I was working a lot with my, with Nu Skin, last year. I still am, and sometimes these meetings are like in the evening because this is for it's a business for everyone who wants to do it, even if they have a day job. Sometimes people, they like to diversify, which is also my case. And you want to have those meetings at the end of the day when everybody's done with the job and they are at home and they have maybe put the kids down for bed, and you can just log in on a Zoom call and focus 1 hour of your time on doing this. We do this like at least twice per week, and sometimes at this time you just don't want to think of what do I cook for dinner. Your mindset is not there. You're tired from the day. You just put your kids for bed, which sometimes that takes a lot of energy as well because they are tired and they throw tantrums maybe, or they're just resisting to go to bed, and you're like, oh my god, go to sleep already. And yeah, it can be a lot. So I realized like this year I'm just gonna do meal prep, and ever since I started doing this, it has been game changer. When I get up in the morning and breakfast is done, I do overnight oats or some sort of thing. Sometimes I even have like the dough for pancakes or things like that already pre-made. And this is such like a time saver and a game changer, I tell you. Then at lunch is like my husband can take his food already and like heat it up at work, and I can do the same. When I take my lunch break, I can easily grab it and warm it up and eat it. And at dinner is the same thing, even for the girls, for us. Like, it's just amazing. I even like batch all the snacks. Like, I do healthy banana muffins, like high in protein, because I'm focusing a lot in protein, and I'm just doing all the guesswork. On Saturday, we also went to the supermarket yesterday and we buy all the groceries, and then on Sunday is when I do the meal prep. So I don't have to think about this at all during the week, and I can dedicate that energy and mental load onto something else, not this. So that's something that I definitely like doing on Sundays. And something else that I do is like I prepare my week. Like, I go through my calendar and my family's calendar, and I put everything in there to make sure I am prepared. Like, for example, tomorrow I started a new project, as I told you last week, and everything is new, right? And it's overwhelming in terms of information and things that I have to learn. So I basically like tomorrow I have a big meeting, and I need to prepare for that. I need to come with my A game. And even though it's like around lunchtime, I don't want to leave my prep for in the morning, because in the morning I want to be focusing on the meetings that I already have and doing other tasks that I have set for Monday morning. So I want to do that prep today. So I'm going to book 1 hour of my time for after lunch today, where I'm going to be just preparing for that interview, And this is something to mention, because sometimes you will want to separate work hours from the weekends, but I think it's important also to acknowledge how beneficial it is to dedicate time from your weekends to be prepared and ahead of the game for work on Monday. To me, it just releases so much anxiety. I reduce anxiety, and I just feel like more calm and at peace. And if it gives me peace of mind, then it's a good thing, And it only takes 1 hour when I can do it feeling calm and not rush tomorrow feeling like, oh my god, it's gonna be in 2 hours, I'm not ready. So I need that. I will do that today. And then I also have a big meeting on Thursday, and I need to prepare for that. That's like a really massive thing. And I also want to block a few hours, but that's gonna be later tonight when everyone is sleeping. I will just take, before going to bed, just to do like the first draft of everything that I need to prepare. And then tomorrow I will block another hour to go through that, and on Tuesday maybe 2 hours, something like this, But I want to have like a first draft done before I go to bed tonight. Then another thing that I like doing is like cleaning up my house and like resetting a little bit in terms of organization, I like to do that as well. That's already done. It's checked. And booking like in my calendar all the workouts that I'm gonna do and when and where, because sometimes I like to do like my minimum is like 3 times per week at the gym. And this week I didn't manage to do that. I mean, I'm giving myself some grace because I'm in a transition period with something really big going on in my life. And I'm dedicating a lot of time, even my lunch breaks, to study or prepare. And that's also kind of expected for me. So all good. But then I do my workouts at home. And it's like I have this ABC kind of goal system. I'm gonna talk to you about it because I think it can be beneficial for you. Where in January, it's the beginning of the year. If you're like goal setting, I think this can be something very, very interesting because it's the first time that I'm approaching it this way. Basically, what I'm doing this year, it's like instead of saying like smart goals, which is what I think at this point most of us we know that we should set goals that are smart, meaning they have a deadline, they are like you have a time by when you want to accomplish them, they are very specific, they are realistic, they are measurable, like all of these things, right? I think we all know that by now, but sometimes we can be very much black and white, or I mean black or white, like either I accomplish it or I fail, or we can be very ambitious or not realistic in the sense of like how many goals are we setting for ourselves. Like we have to be realistic. Like you cannot have like from doing the time that you had last year, you should count with the same amount of time for the coming year. And you cannot introduce 50,000 new things with the same time that you had. You have to be realistic in the sense that you need to introduce maybe 1 to 3 new goals for the first quarter, and that would be something manageable and something you can achieve, right? But more than that, it would be unrealistic just because the calendar hits number day one in it doesn't mean you're going to be this whole new person that can do so much more, right? So I think it's important to acknowledge that and bear in mind. But the system that I'm using this year, it's ABC. So what I do is like I set a goal and then I give myself option A, B, or C. A means, for example, with the workouts, right? I like plan A is I am going to work out 3 times per week at the gym. Like I do I lift weights, and that's gonna be like the best scenario, right? What happens if I cannot make it to the gym? It's not going to be not getting a workout at all. Then comes option B. Option B is I do a 30-minute workout at home. It doesn't matter what time. I'm just getting it done, even if it's like at the very end of the day. If that doesn't happen either, because life is going to happen. Sometimes you might be burnt out or tired, or you get your period, or you're sick, or whatever, then there comes on option C. And option C is about I'm still gonna get some time, even if it's like 15 minutes, to stretch or do something for my body, even if it's like laying down on the mat and stretching, or just winding down, relaxing. Like I need to have some time during my day where I'm connecting to my body. I'm connecting with that goal, right? If you just let it slip and say, oh, I didn't manage to do that at all, you end up forgetting about that goal, and you're not taking yourself serious enough, which impacts also your confidence. Every time you say you're going to do something, you end up not doing it. Don't let it happen twice, like 2 days in a row. The second day, you are going to do it, because otherwise you start losing confidence in yourself, and that's like the most valuable thing. So that's the approach that I'm going for this year, ABC. And I like to plan all of that in my calendar, the 3 options, in case something happens. When you see your calendar, you can see, okay, this day is going to be really, really intense for me. I'm not going to have the time to go to the gym, come back, or like have the level of energy required to do that. So I'm going to, this day, put a home workout instead. And when you are being realistic about it, you're setting yourself up for success. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I hope you find it useful. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is, I got such a lovely comment the other day for one of you. I mean, you know who you are, Milena. You made my day, because obviously I'm coming back to YouTube after such a really, really long break, and I'm expecting to have 0 views. I'm going with this. But the fact that I got the comment from this lovely girl that has been following my journey from years ago when I was like sharing more often, in my time in Switzerland. And it was such a lovely comment in Spanish. I'm just going to put it on the screen here somewhere because it really made my day, and it's like I wanted to discuss this topic. I think so many people can relate, and it's all about what to do when you're having imposter syndrome, when you're feeling that way, when you're in a toxic environment, how to gain confidence afterwards. And that's such a big topic. And I wanna address it because so many people can get into this. The reality is that I have been there, and I shared it in my YouTube channel. I was looking for my lipstick, sorry. I feel like years ago I was in a very toxic environment at work in Switzerland, and it was toxic because I was not feeling valued, and I also felt like an imposter because everyone there were like highly technical people, engineers, and I felt like, who am I? What am I doing here, right? And I had that from the get-go. So I kind of like always felt like I wasn't good enough, or I don't really know how to explain it, but I just felt like I didn't fit in, and I was questioning my worth all the time. And after that, I had a little bit of like an identity crisis because I realized that I was associating my self-image and my value with my work. And that's the reason why I had to go through this toxic environment and this crisis to get the learning that I am not what I do, And what I'm gonna say, I know it sounds harsh, but the reality and the truth is that we attract the circumstances happening to us for a reason. When I experienced that toxic environment at work, it's because I needed to go through it to actually question my worth and my value, and separate it from work and what I do. And all of us, everything that happens to us in life is for us. It's because I am attracting a particular circumstance because I need to get a specific learning out of it that maybe you don't need to experience because you don't need to learn that. You already know it about you, right? So it sounds harsh because you might feel like, well, why is it my fault? It's not your fault. It's just the fact that you might have wounds from childhood or the early life. You learned something that make you self-doubt yourself. Doubt yourself. It makes you feel like you're not good enough, or it makes you associate your value with high performance. And hence, you go through life and you attract certain circumstances. The way I overcame it is by assessing my identity. I went through a whole life like identity. I call it crisis, but it's really like a moment of reflection, right? Like, who am I? Why I do what I do? Who am I without, my work, right? And I'm a high performer, and I'm very ambitious, and I'm always looking for the next thing that I can do. And if I don't have that, I feel like empty. Not anymore, but back then I did. And that's the way I overcame it. I started like analyzing who am I and finding my worth, and who I really am and not what I do. When you connect with yourself, really, you start disassociating yourself from this identity and you create a new one, right? And then also, sometimes you just go through that because you need to learn to set boundaries, to give yourself like the place that you deserve, standing your ground. Ask yourself the question, why are you tolerating and allowing the situation to go for so long? Like, why are you in a toxic environment for so long? Why are you tolerating that? What is it in you that is making you need that environment for even longer? Because what I always say, and I will say forever, is that if you're in a toxic environment, you're not going to change it. You are just not going to change the way it works, the system, the people. So you need to get out of there as soon as possible. And then if you have to sue someone, if you have to deal with like something, do it. But get out of there as soon as you can. And try to find, let's say, hold on a second. Oh, good. Try to deal with the consequences or any action that you need to take. Do it parallelly to you getting out of that place. So if you are in that situation, the first thing you need to do is question why you're still tolerating it. What are your beliefs that are making you think that you need to be there? Because honestly, it's all about beliefs. Start questioning them. You might think, this is such a good opportunity. I have been in this role only for 6 months. I need to stay longer because for my CV it's important. All of that are just your beliefs. This is not reality. You can explain anything in an interview. You can explain anything in your CV. You can find there are so many broad opportunities out there. You telling yourself this is the only thing is a scarcity mindset. It's a limiting belief that is blocking you and making you feel stuck in a place where you are not happy. So start questioning your beliefs and start tracing a plan to get you out of there as soon as possible. Start like doing, applying for jobs, learning a new skill. It might take you a week or 2 or 3 or a couple of months, but the sooner you start working on your B plan and to get out of there, the better. Not everyone has the possibility to just quit and do nothing, empty-handed. Like, you need to pay your bills and pay for your life and sustain yourself. And I totally get that. I was there myself, but it's important that you start working on a plan for it, right? And that being said, the next thing to build up your confidence is to turn into something that you're truly passionate about. It might be a hobby, it might be a new skill that you're learning and you start becoming good at it, because when you love something, you're gonna dedicate time to it and you're gonna want to improve at it. And that's how you start gaining your confidence back, especially if it's really damaged after a very, very toxic experience. That's how you gain it back. That's what I did. I started a business that's completely out of the blue. It was a balloon decoration business that has nothing to do with what I studied for. And trust me, I was looked down upon, by so many people that were like, why, you have your degrees and you even worked it here and there. What are you doing with balloons? Like, they looked down at me, but I didn't care because it was so fun. And I learned so much about leadership, running a business, what I like, what I don't like, what I'm good at, what I'm not good at. So everything is a learning, but I got so much confidence out of this that it was a lot easier, to start like getting into new opportunities. So I would suggest for you to get out of there and connect with something that you're truly passionate about. So yeah, we're gonna have lunch now. And honestly, I think I'm going to end the vlog here because after this, I'm going to focus on preparing for this meeting and I'm going to be doing like meal prep, but I will do that later in the day. And I want this vlog to go up today. So I want to edit and put it up as soon as I can. And I will insert right here a few pictures of my meal prep from last week so you have an idea of what I do. And if you want to know more about this, I can share more in detail next week. Let me know, and I will try to record something today as well just to have it as a backup, and I can share it in another vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if this was helpful in any way, and if there are any other topics or anything you're curious about or you want tips about, then let me know and I'll make sure to cover it in my next week's vlog. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!